Hey guys, this is Coop from Garage Gym Reviews. We are in the new garage gym, quite possibly my greatest creation yet. We're gonna do a full video series showing you how I built it and also do a walkthrough in the future. So if you'd like to see that, make sure you subscribe because there's more detail and goodness in here than you've probably seen anywhere else. That sounds a little like pompous. There's not that much goodness. There's goodness elsewhere. You've probably seen goodness elsewhere. This is just a cool space, let's just say that. But today we are reviewing the Tempo Studio. I've had the Tempo Studio for over 6 months now. I've used and reviewed pretty much every other smart home gym that's out there. Smart home gym is this like new conglomerate of combining amazing hardware. This is the goal, amazing hardware with amazing software. Being in the gym space, we test and review a ton of hardware. The tech side is more of a personal thing for me. I love tech, I'm constantly seeing tech reviews, I'm constantly using tech, but we don't often get to review them except when we get cool things like this. And so we've done full reviews on things that are similar to this, like Tonal, which is one of my absolute favorites. And I'll tell you in this video whether I think this is better, worse, or how it compares to Tonal, as well as Peloton, Mirror, Proform View, Nordictrack Vault, all those we have reviews coming up on. So, but today the focus is on the Tempo. And as you can see from the outset, in my opinion, it's beautiful. It's like a mid-century modern type design with like the clean, sharp lines, also rounded corners. This entire frame here is built out of probably some sort of formed aluminum. It's heavy enough that it's difficult to move and it's stable, but it's light enough in that like it's not like crazy hard to move. I think the heaviest part on this, as you would expect, is this screen right here. So this is a touch screen. It's a massive touch screen in a portrait mode that I'll show you does have some like issues with it, but overall it's just a beautiful design. But one thing that I think is the coolest part of this is both how they integrated the weight and like how they actually did it. So down here you can see this beautiful like kind of, I don't know, mesh-like design here. This is all metal again, formed steel. I open these up and oh my goodness, if that isn't sexy, I don't know what's sexy. I'm sure there's things sexier than that, but that is very sexy to a guy like me. Now this is the other part that is absolutely will blow you away. Ta-da! Oh, the soft close hinges. If you don't have soft close hinges in your house, what are you doing? Just kidding, I don't have soft close in my house. I wish I did. But look at this, it's just so nice. Here, let's do it together. 3, 2, 1. Oh, so nice. Okay, but that's the basic overview of the device. But the biggest tech, the biggest cool factor about this, the biggest smart feature about this isn't the touchscreen. It's not the soft close hinges. It's not the formed steel. It's this right here. This is a 3D camera. Now this 3D camera, I don't know, I would guess they're not building this themselves. I would guess they're like repurposing this from some of Microsoft's stuff. But this 3D camera is tracking your movements in real time. So it's providing like basically your rep tracking as well as like helping you with biomechanics and like form breakdown. This camera is doing it all with AI. Very cool, very simple. But today I want to go into a review, tell you what I think about all the different features and give you a Coop score on every specific part so we can see how good it is. Let's do it. First off is delivery. So every piece of gym equipment, obviously you don't go to a store and buy Tempo, you have to order it online. Tempo is very similar to Tonal. It's a lot of these smart home gyms. Peloton's very similar too. They have a white glove service. So this doesn't show up in a big box that you've got to take apart, do whatever. It shows up in a big box that somebody assembles it for you. So they take it apart, they plug it in. There really is no assembly with this. This is one reason this is nice over something like Tonal in that it doesn't have to bolt to anything. It just has, you know, basically stands that has adjustable leveling feet so you can put it wherever you want. And because there's weight that stores in the bottom, it's very stable. You don't have to worry about this thing falling over or anything like that. This is on rubber flooring and it's shaking a little bit, but that's because it's just compressed flooring. Other than that, it is rock solid. Even with the weight out, it's very solid. So delivery overall, amazing experience, 5 out of 5. Now I want to start with the hardware because that's kind of what we're seeing here, and then we'll get into some of the software features. The hardware itself is twofold. It's one, like the actual frame of the device, but then in addition to that, it's accessories. So I bet you didn't think those were back there. But this is a metal form sheet, as I've said before, very solid, very well done. Comes in this like dark gray, which is kind of bluish. Not my favorite color, I wish it was more of a space gray, but it also comes in a white. I think the white probably looks a little bit better, and it's a little bit better for most people. But in addition to that are these accessories. So these accessories are change plates. Like here, this is basically what comes with it. So these are 10 pounds, you get 4 of them. 10 pounders, 4 5-pounders, 4 2.5 pounders, and 4 1 pounders or 1.25 pounders. In addition, they're using these fake Oso collars. I thought this was kind of funny. These aren't real Oso collars. They're made to look like Oso collars, but they're not quite as good. However, they're not bad. For a tech company, the equipment isn't too bad. But on the back side here, we have holders for both loadable dumbbells and a barbell actually. So this is the weight that you're using. So this isn't just a body weight device like a mirror. No, this is using weight, free weight. So it's not like Tonal where it's using cable, it's using free weights. And so it uses loadable dumbbells that you then load the change plates on. 2 of them, which are, the knurling's not bad. Like they spin, they call them the California dumbbell. These are imported, like probably very similar to what we see from other imported companies. Nice bronze bushings, like honestly, way better than I expected. They're not like as good of like an Eleiko or Rogue, but they're pretty good. 2 of those, and then a mini barbell. And this is like a 4.5 foot barbell. Similar knurling, similar sleeve. It's got a short sleeve length, so you're not gonna be doing like crazy deadlifts on this. So you can probably tell this isn't designed for somebody, you know, incredibly strong, somebody that's deadlifting super heavy, like 800 pounds like me, but for most mortals, this is gonna suffice. So for the construction, I would say a 4.5 out of 5. It's like really well made, and then accessories, they could be better, but for a smart device, like I think they're way above average. I'd say 4 out of 5. Now let's move to some of the actual smart features, because that's really why you'd buy this. There's a power button. I think nicely located right here, an actual tactile button. You press, and then it powers on. One thing about this is this touchscreen, and this is one thing that I don't absolutely love, is a little bit laggy. It's using 1080p. This is a big screen to be using 1080p. I'd love to say be 4K. Honestly, 4K displays are so cheap today. I'm kind of surprised they didn't use 4K, but it may have to do with the touchscreen, maybe a lot more expensive. That said, 1080p, refresh rate could be higher. I believe it's 60 Hertz, and it's a touchscreen. So all this is a touchscreen, like a big phone. So I touch anywhere on here, it can track my, you know what I'm doing, but I click my name. You can have different profiles, you can adjust Wi-Fi. This is just like your login screen, and then it gets to what would be similar to like a Netflix for training. So up here is like if you're following a program up here, they have live classes, and then it's just scrolling, just like you'd see on any like streaming device. But instead of being like a movie you're watching entertainment, like these are workouts. This, honestly, I love this idea. Anything that can get people off the couch and moving more is tremendous. And the great thing about this is similar to some other devices like Tonal, is you take an initial workout test, it then tells you what weights you're gonna use, and then it tracks your weights and tells you what weights to do while you're doing your workout. So you don't have to think about it. And it like progressively overloads you automatically. And then with the AI of the 3D camera and the sensor, it's also tracking your reps and giving you advice on form. Now, I don't think it's like the best form recognition or it's like as good as having a coach. It's not like you're doing Olympic lifts on this and they're providing like in-depth breakdown from like Klokov. Like that's not how it's working, but it is for a lot of beginners. I think it's way better than just working out alone and looking in the mirror. But the way it works in use is there's this mat right here. You have to use this mat. This mat rolls out. You want to put it like 5 feet or so. You need enough space where you can put the barbell down and everything. But this is where you're able to stand on, and it's able to track you while you're working out. So this has to be far enough. They kind of like guide you through it. You put your plates and your barbell and everything down, and then you can start doing the workout. Now, the biggest like annoyance for me on this is once the workouts get going, which by the way, the production level on this is amazing. It's very well done. The videos are incredibly well done. The people all look pretty, like they've got good personalities. They look like they train, like it's pretty cool. But the most annoying thing for me is the way, because they're using free weights, is the way you have to load the dumbbells. Dumbbells are used a lot in this. So we're used to using barbells where you have to load them, but I'm so used to using adjustable dumbbells or fixed dumbbells that using loadable dumbbells takes so much longer. So things like supersets and just things like that, when you're working in between weights, it can take a really long time because you got to take the dumbbell off, you got to put the weights on, you got to put the collars on, then you got to switch them out. Like, very much a first world problem, but an adjustable dumbbell like a Power Block or an Iron Master or something like that, combined it with this would be much nicer in my opinion. So in use training, just like general training, it's good. I think the AI is going to get better the more people use it because it's learning. I think the classes are going to get better. I like the idea. The touchscreen could be a little bit better. It just takes a little long. Adjusting the weights take a little bit. So overall, I'd say it's 3.5 out of 5. It's not as good, in my opinion, in training as something like Tonal or a Peloton. It just feels like there's quite a bit more friction with changing the weights and some of that other stuff versus those others. That's the reason I'd say it's still above average, but it's not quite as good as those others, in my opinion. So although the smart features aren't perfect, there's a lot of them and there's a lot of unique ones. So like Tonal has a lot of cool smart features with adjusting the weight because of the cables. Peloton's just an amazing experience, training experience. But the smart features on here are really unique. Like this is the only one I've seen that's come out with like a 3D camera. There's other ones we've tested like Perch that are designed to sit in a rack, but this one like sits all within this beautiful encased design and it actually works pretty well. The biggest issue for some of these smart features is the difficulty in using the barbell without a rack. They do make a rack. I've seen it, I haven't used it, but using it with like a rack like this, and you kind of got to always face the screen, so you're having to pull the bar out maybe a little bit awkwardly. It's a little bit less than perfect for like true like heavy strength training. For general strength training, I think it's fine for people with a lighter weight. But the smart features overall, I thought were pretty good. This could obviously get a bit better because it's a little bit laggy and there's some other things within it that just needs time to work out. But overall, I like them and I like the implementation. So 4 out of 5 for me. On the smart features as well, like they added a lot of versatility. So this isn't just designed for strength. You can use this for some cardio stuff. Like if you scroll through these classes, both lower body, upper body, like there's lots of HIIT type stuff. You can go through, check out programs or classes and live. This allows you to like use this for your entire spectrum of training. It's very holistic. So you don't just have to use this for strength, much like, you know, a lot of the other ones that are out there, they're trying to encompass a lot. So Apple Fitness Plus or Peloton, like it's not just using the bike, it's all different stuff. This is similar. And the production value is very good. The mobility classes are good. They're like true yoga instructors. Just like there's a lot that's offered. So versatility, because there's so much that offered, 4 out of 5. Lastly is value. So from just an expense standpoint, this isn't cheap. It's about $2,500, which is about $500 less than something like Tonal. However, it does have lower weight increments. This is what comes with it. You can add more, like these plates they have. These are their 25-pound plates, which are actually pretty like decent bumper plates and look pretty good. But they're not, like this system isn't cheap, especially when you add on the $39 a month. Like, you know, just we want to kill you with subscriptions. Like that's kind of what you have to expect. And this one does not work well without a subscription. Tonal, you can kind of get by a little bit. This one, I feel like you really need the programs to really get like the versatility and use out of it. So the value is, it's okay. There's still a lot you can do with it. And so if you want something that you want to motivate with, you're not going to use super heavy weight, you're fine using loadable dumbbells and things like that, it can work. For me, from a value standpoint, I'd say it's a 3.5 out of 5. I don't think it's as good a value as some others. I think it's a better value in some cases than like an Apple Fitness Plus subscription or like a Peloton. Even if an Apple Fitness Plus is less, it's nice to get into, but there's no equipment involved. You have to buy all that stuff. This one kind of comes all encompassing and you can do a lot with it. So for me, do I recommend Tempo? Yes. I don't currently think it's as good as Tonal. I think there's ways they can improve it. I'd love to try out some of the other equipment and how it works with it, like the squat rack and the bench and some of that other stuff. Right now I'm just kind of using my own stuff. I would like to try some of that. I think they're going to improve it over time, but I do think this is something that's going to be here long term. I don't think it's something that you're going to buy and it's going to go away. Like they've got a lot of VC backing. I've seen that they continue to accumulate more money because people see like this is a good idea. it's got enough traction that it's gonna be here. So I don't think you're gonna buy this and then it's gonna get bricked in the future and you're like, I got this freaking cool device, but I can't do anything with it. So for me, I would recommend it, but personally, if I was gonna suggest one thing as a smart home gym for most people, I would suggest a Tonal over this. Although this is fantastic if you're in that kind of specific, want the free weights with the loadable dumbbells, that sort of thing. So that brings the entire Coop score. And we got other things in there that we put on the website. You can check out that review in the link in the bio where we go through all the different parts of it. Overall, it's a 3.9 out of 5. So definitely above average. Average would be a 3. Definitely above average, definitely a quality piece. There's just some things that I want to see worked out. All right, this is Coop from Garage Gym Reviews. Do you want to see more smart home gym reviews? Let me know in the comments below. We'll see you next time.